talking about like 400 children a day, like getting killed in these like slavery situations, and it's horrendous. The stuff that's
Okay,
going on.
where's the facts? You know what I'm saying? It's like freaking.
Again, yeah,
I could.
the
I mean,
data's going, the
You're
true
there's
data can be hard to
there's
come by.
journalists
and
dedicated to it.
you can't really depend on this alt media crap because I mean if you turn around and you watch
CNN only. CNN only.
no, I mean the alt media is the worst because they like freaking just throw crap loads of lies at you that's a load of shit. I mean
That's not. Oh, and the mainstream media is much better, is it?
they all throw freaking lies at you. It's just the bad thing about alt media is none of their
So
information.
trust no one. Is that your
No,
stance?
it's not grounded in facts. Like they will literally make
That's
shit
true.
up and put it on
I
there.
know. So you're
saying everyone
news people-
who has ever put out any media out there has never based anything on facts. That's
Well,
what you're saying. You just
actually-
made this blanket statement
Yeah.
saying all social.
Definitely.
I have to say that Corbett actually does do a good job. But other than Corbett, maybe
But he's
Stella Edmund.
an alternative media platform. Oh, he's more of a commentator rather than a journalist. But
Yeah, Corbett does.
yeah, you are making such a broad and somewhat ludicrous statement, I think.
Well, name
That's called bias. It's called political bias.
You tell me an alt media platform that actually does a good job.
I can
will.
think.
It'll just take me a
I've
few minutes to
given
find
you
it.
references to quite a few things. People like Jeff Taylor, as far as the UK is concerned, anyway, Jeff Taylor, the Lotus Eaters. Again, these are mainly commentators rather than just pure journalists.
There is a few pure journalists out there that's made some documentaries lately, and that's worth watching. You just have to find out what it is.
And I also want to point out the fact too that Corbett is more of an anarchist. But don't get me wrong, I don't support anarchists. You know what I'm saying? But he does put out good information. So he does, and a lot of his stuff is really unbiased. So,
as far as you can see.
well, I mean, if you pay attention to him, and like you'll see it, and not only that, but like you guys are all big on archive.com. He freaking actually
I
is
haven't seen many people.
he's actually setting up his own platform now to where he can freaking put out his own libraries and stuff of open information and stuff of that nature. So I mean, he's doing real good when it comes to all that.
I think the point is really to try and get a broad sort of watch as much as possible and or review as much as possible and try and have a sort of broad sort of have a sort of open mind and again, like I was saying last night in relation to artificial intelligence, use that little brains, that grey cell that you've got in your head and do some critical thinking.
Yeah, exactly. Critical thinking is important.
Did you see how the Trump put all the like child rapists' faces out on the White House lawn?
Well, he said that he was going to get more of them. I thought that was kind of a shame that it was only 100 because, like, he's making this case that there's freaking like thousands of them. He should have had that whole yard sprinkled with freaking child.
Remember, these
There's probably more.
conflicted.
No, there isn't. No.
The real issue is the mainstream media wasn't covering it, so that's why he did that, so that they were forced to cover it.
If you go according to the statistics, these guys seem to freaking bathe in on a daily basis. You'll find out that there's less than actually 200 cases nationwide here in the United States of any illegal immigrant from South America ever being involved in a rape charge.
And also remember that this is a seriously political issue at this present moment in the UK with the Rotherham scandals and the alleged local council and local authority cover-ups, which is
Yeah, like
ongoing.
what is the HHS? Human and Health Services or whatever. They were complicit apparently in child trafficking under Biden. So it became basically like a rat line from the border, and because all the children were undocumented, they just came with like a little pin-up note on their shirts, and that would give them an address, and they would just drop them off at these addresses. People like Muckraker, who were doing investigations into it, would show up at the houses, and the guy would be like, "Oh yeah, I had a little girl. I gave her away to somebody," shit like that. It happens all the time. Here it says the immigration has lost track of up to 230,000 unaccompanied minors over the previous 5 years. Approximately 291,000 of them were released into the US, never given a date to appear in immigration court.
Okay, so
32,000 failed to appear at their hearings. So you can just imagine.
Okay, so we do want to come back to that because that is actually on the topics. But
Yeah, I was just trying to work out how did we jump into that.
Now let's talk a little bit more on Doge. Okay. Okay. Now the Trump administration is planning to end the IRS direct file program, which offers free federal tax filing. The program's future was reported finalized in mid-March when IRS staff was told to stop working on its development for the 2026 tax filing season. This decision has drawn criticism from some, including Senator Elizabeth Warren, who believe it benefits large tax preparation companies.
You're going to have to explain a little bit about the IRS the Inland Revenue Services direct filing program.
So when you
not totally clear.
When at the end of the year, you get to file your taxes, and when you file your taxes, you get a tax return for all the money that you give the government. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
the States,
now they have these programs set up that through the government where people who freaking can't afford to get their taxes filed can go to like H&R Block or companies like that to where they can have their taxes filed for free, and they can get their taxes back. I believe there's also a system set up to where whenever you do it, they can take the percentage that it would cost from the amount that you would get to, but I'm not quite sure about that.
So we're talking about things like employing accountants or bookkeepers, bookkeepers, depending on which area you're in, and any sort of I don't know, postal costs or something.
Well, first of all, with me, my whole thing on the IRS is this: like, income taxes are pretty much were originally only supposed to be temporary. Okay, and I believe there's rumors going around too that Trump's wanting to get rid of income taxes altogether to where.
Well, there's no lawful basis for it. There's no law in the US that says you have to pay income tax.
Right, and this whole term about voluntary tax systems, that's a load of shit. You know what I mean? I use it as a like joking around when I say it. Like you can easily just not pay your taxes because it's
the US has got some really bizarre rules around tax. So, as an example, if you are expatriate or if you move to another country, you're still forced to pay the US taxes.
They're pretty savage, the IRS.
Yeah, which is really bizarre. And unlike in the UK, even PAYE have to put in their own taxes. It's not the responsibility of the employer; it's the responsibility of the employee in the US. It's
Right.
the opposite way around in the UK.
Well, see,
But anyway,
that's
we're talking
beyond-
about Doge, aren't we?
Well, yeah, Doge is getting rid of this program to where you won't be able to go in and have your taxes done for free at the government's expense.
At the taxpayers' expenses.
Yeah,
They also found that
government
the government was printing money. Did you see that thing with the money printing machines? I'll pull it up in a sec. They found that these machines that were basically printing money directly out of the Fed didn't have any receipts. So there was no tracking where the money went after it was given away. And like here it says on their website, just in the last 2 days, agencies terminated 401 wasteful contracts with a ceiling value of $2.1 billion and saved them $613 million, including a $276,000 Treasury contract for a Kenya program coordinator. So I heard on the news yesterday that these people were getting this government money and just spending it like crazy. Like they would hire out the entire Caesar's Palace for a party in Las Vegas, and they would like rent out a stadium just to have a party and stuff like that.
Again, I will criticize you for using the term government money. It's state money. It's I don't mean states as in localized states. I mean states as in the national state country. But I've got to correct.
That's the thing.
Yeah, precisely. So in effect, taxpayers' money. In the long
sovereignty. See, that's what we do here in a free country. We get the sovereignty of the United States.
So it's not government money because governments come and go every 5 years, give or take. But I have to question if the US Fed is printing money without tracking or without having records for that money, then how is interest rates set up? What is interest rates based upon?
Well, hold up. This is an interesting thing you're bringing up there, because that's the funny thing about this. Okay, the Fed is the one who freaking prints the money, right? But they're also the ones who set the interest rates. Huh.
Same with the UK. Oh,
I mean, don't you?
Same with the UK.
Don't you find that pretty odd? You know, and here in the United States, people are always bitching because, them damn interest rates went up and it's the government's fault. And I always have to point out to them, no, man, you need to check your facts. It's not the freaking government's fault. It's the freaking Federal Reserve. And we were talking about non-governmental organizations. This is another one. The Federal Reserve here in the United States is not a governmental organization. It is a non-governmental organization that was set up and created it's illegally, or it's constitutionally illegal for that freaking organization to be in power or have any power whatsoever. The only reason why they were able to get away with it is because we're allowed to give plenary powers to organizations. Like when you hear about freaking the president pardoning people, that's plenary powers that he has. He has the ability to pardon people. Now Congress has that same ability. They can turn around and they can create these non-governmental organizations and give them the same authority that they have because what that does is it makes it to where they can do it without Congress doing it.